Finally, after 9 months of planning and seeing everything out on paper, we get a phone call saying, hey, we're starting the frame. So we were heading out to go to spacecraft early in the morning, see this start to take shape.
It's time for a change. You can't grow by staying the same. It's our contribution for this revolution, building community. It's just one step closer to where we're meant to be. It's not just a way of life, it's a family.
We tortured ourselves for nothing. What does this mean? Where are we going? I want to fly in a helicopter and land it on top of the RV. And I messed that all up the first night.
And that was only 43 feet.
This is a little insane.
I'm gonna need more Advil. How do I put a shampoo bottle on there, Josh? You put shampoo in a bottle like that?
Every half inch matters. Yeah, it was pretty cool to think after so much time has passed, here we are, we were actually doing it. It was early morning and we have like an hour and a half drive each way. So it gives us time to kind of reflect as we're driving, heading into the shop. And I don't know, I think it's one of those things where starting the process, and it's taken so long to get here, and now we're in October of all time frames, actually building. Did you have an expectation when you were gonna show up?
No, there's just so many different pieces. I'm still in shopping mode and still thinking it through all of those details. When they actually start building the frame, it was just cool to kindly like start to see it begin to take shape. And we know how stinking important the frame part is.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of issues with, the frame in our other RV, and so we know so much rides on this being well built.
Yeah, and with I-beams and all the stuff that they put in them. Everything what we've seen, so we've toured so many different spacecraft.
Yeah.
We kind of have this high expectation bar set, but it's really different when you're planning it. You've spent so many hours, Sheila, like you were sitting there with pen and paper and then phone calls with Joshua and moving things. So this was it. This was the moment.
Well, and even though, for me, seeing a frame, I'm like the pretty details. There's nothing sexy about a frame, right? There's nothing pretty about a frame. It's metal. It smells. It just smells.
It does. Was there burning things and cutting things?
Yeah, but I also realize it's like the foundation. It's very important. And so I was excited to go see it, though I was also excited as things are starting to come in.
Okay, this is it. This is the moment many of us have been waiting for. We are going to go see the frame that was started, how long ago?
Probably 2 weeks ago, maybe.
And we've been traveling, of course, so we haven't got to see anything. So I think this is the moment where I think it becomes real, like legit. Because till now, it's just been on paper. Are you ready? I don't know if I'm ready either.
Yeah, it's all fun and games till it's real.
That is so true. What? Sheila, what did we just do? Like, what did we do? I think I'm in shock.
Take a second and just walk with me in my shoes here. I see this for the first time, along with you. This is that moment in time when you can see all of the planning being born into reality. It's that unique feeling of all the emotions being blended together. I am excited, I'm scared to death, nervous, but really hopeful, and it's just all wrapped up into one. Wondering if this is going to work. how will people even, how will they receive this? Will this actually help to build our community like we hope? Will it all be worth it? Sometimes people are not willing to share these emotions out loud. But for you, I just wanted to sit in this moment.
I don't know what to say right now. I think I'm speechless. Well, is it everything you thought?
It's just trying to visualize where all the things go, and it's much longer than I thought.
It's hard to put a visual on it.
Wardrobe. You got your bathroom. This is your bed. Then you'll have your kitchen on one side, or the sofa, the love sack over there, the entertainment center. Then you'll have the dining table and the desk, the kitchen. You have the island, the backside of the kitchen, and then the bonus room.
So you're standing stairs-ish.
Here's your desk.
That's my desk.
To work.
So this is your kitchen.
Right.
So it's a standard slide. This is your flush floor slide, so you can see that it's angled down from the side.
Oh yeah. Like this is these. Look at the I-beams. This would probably break a toe if it fell off the.
Yeah, it leave a mark.
Hey, Greg. Are we gonna have any frame flex?
Nope.
No frame flex here.
Not even a little.
I guess this is actually, well, I think it's gonna happen. I guess the worst thing that can happen now is we just have a piece of steel.
I think I am just so blown away at the weight of just the frame. 12-inch I-beams. There's so much metal.
These guys' job is so unbelievably important. Like, just watching all the areas that have to be welded. I mean, everything shifts if this isn't done right.
Yeah, he said zero flexion, meaning that if it stretches, then it goes back. I don't even know how it would flex any.
Yeah.
It is absolutely incredible. So from this point, they're a little ways out before they take it, descale it, and paint it all. And hopefully we'll get to see that.
Yeah.
And bring you some.
The progress update on that.
I think I'm just overwhelmed. Like it really is so hard to put this in perspective.
I don't think it's overwhelmed in a bad sense.
No.
Like, it's a great process, a great project, watching along. It's just all the pieces that it entails. There's a lot.
To get to this point right now. It was 2 years ago when we walked in, and there was like, there's no way we'd ever do anything like this. So it's weird to see that it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, there's a lot going on. It's cool as hell though. And we're glad that we're being able to share it. Because at the time you're watching this, we have no idea what's happening next.
Yeah, you're living in the real moment to moment with us.
Yeah, it's something. It's a blessing. So it's pretty cool. Walking in for the very first time to see the frame was actually, I don't know if I can really put it into words, because I guess in looking at the paper, seeing how long it was, and to realize in that moment we're gonna be towing it.
We ain't.
You
are.
And then you could see, I was like, oh, there's a slide, and there's a slide. And then putting context of how big it is massive, absolutely massive.
There was a lot of steel.
I don't think you could, even in this video, you cannot comprehend the amount of weight and the I-beams and the multiple welds, and It was, I don't know, it was a little overwhelmed. I would say overwhelmed. I was overwhelmed. I think I'm still overwhelmed.
Yes. I know that I am very appreciative for the trade of welders.
Oh my goodness.
Like,
We really realize now how important welding in a custom space
yeah,
is.
everything is welded.
Everything to the like the 16th of an inch.
And how smooth it is, like,
Everything.
that's a very important craft. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, and Greg was trying to he just was kind of soaking it all in that morning, like, okay, well, you were waiting to see this. So he had this big grin on his face, like he thought, all right, so you can't go much bigger.
Nope.
I mean, we're at 53 feet. You only can do 57, so you can go
We're
with
actually at 54 feet.
Oh gosh, see?
We
53
we
feet
added a
to
foot because we couldn't, and when we were designing things out, we're like, and I said, well, I need to move this, or we need to shrink this, and you're like, just add a foot. What's a foot? What's one more foot?
I forgot already that we're at 54 feet. Yeah, so you can only go 3 foot bigger.
Yeah, when we were walking, in a lot of places, they only say that they can, oh gosh, they can only do that size because it's the size of their shops.
Yeah, their lamination system. We'll see that later on how they put the walls together, but wow, what a morning that was, just to take that in. And yeah, we're glad to be able to at least have the cameras and share it, because it was a pretty special moment.
But we're gonna have to still make our railings, right?
Not if you order the door with the railing.
Well, but we still have to make that. We don't want mesh, so we still have
Oh,
to
that's what you're saying.
do
So-
that piece.
Yes, but the lippert you can order without, right? I think
We
it was on
can
the
just
list.
order the
Yeah.
yada yada, the side pieces.
Your only issue there is it sticks 4 inches off the door. The railing does, or the bracketry for the railing. So
Is this the one that lays on the
yeah, on the
lays
door.
on the door? Okay.
So whenever your door is closed, and you have a patio door in there somewhere,
So are you gonna make sure that that railing doesn't scratch the patio door?
yes, but you'll just keep losing more and more space on the inside.
Well, how much space are we talking?
Depends on what patio door you choose. The Arris doors are only 3 inches thick.
The what?
The Arris,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
brand.
How big are the Sunbelt?
I don't know, because they're completely custom and you have to basically
Oh.
call them and design it.
Okay.
3 inches is good because most of those doors are 5 to 6.
Okay.
So I think
Was she
here-
able to find the Arris in stock?
we can order them from the manufacturer
Okay.
themselves. So yes, but we have to decide on that.
Those are
Today.
the doors I want.
Okay.
But you have to
We'll
just tell me if
talk to her.
they'll work with that ramp door. That ramp door, though, we want the 3000 because it's the only one that Lippert says is waterproof,
Mhm.
right? Your 5000 door that you've been using is not.
Not waterproof, and I'm not dealing with the delamination that I'm having now.
Yeah, I'm unsure on how those are made. I think they're just solid aluminum, so there's no.
And foam,
But
Yeah.
but on Lippert's thing, it doesn't say that one's waterproof. So that's
not
one
on
of
the
best-
Challenger.
Yeah.
The only one waterproof is the 3000.
Okay.
And we still had lots of questions. There was these specific doors. I really wanted to do these patio sliding bifold type doors. How are those going to work with the frame? What's the depth need to be to have those there and then bring the ramp door up? All of those things still needed to be kind of walked through. Gosh, we had tons of other questions.
Okay, so I think those doors are 1 3/4. Like once they're closed, that's how far they come in. Plus your 4 inches. So you got 5 3/4.
Okay.
So you probably need at least 6 from your door to your patio door, and then your patio door is going to be 3, so 9 inches. But it's going to come in probably half right where this wood starts. It's probably where your door is going to come into.
Plus the handle.
Plus
Or
however, a lot of the times the handles are internal, but that's okay because that'll just be in your walkway. I mean, if the handle's sticking out, that's not going to change anything structurally or anything like that. But here on the floor plan, I have 9.5.
And how much did you say we needed
just
now?
9. But 9.5 is where you're going to be probably. because there's going to be trims and stuff like that. So we planned for it. So it's not going to be like you have this much space to walk through.
But the hidden hinge would added 4 more inches.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even have a doorway here.
All right. All right.
Well, and I don't know if they actually done bifold doors before. Have they done them
I
before?
believe for a spacecraft, this is the first time we're going to.
We kind of pushed the boundaries a little bit on a lot of things with this build.
But can I have hidden hinges on the back?
No, because now you're you're 8 inches into the thing.
Yeah.
You're losing even more space. There's no way.
Then your Murphy bed would probably hit your door jamb.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
And then you need a. Well, I'm just saying.
You could add a foot. Add a foot.
Too late to add a foot,
Yeah, it's
Joshua.
Frame
I'll
stuff.
just go talk to the weld team and just we can make something happen.
Can you tack weld this back part?
You could. You just might fall off going down the road.
I'm just gonna go cry in this corner.
And the way that I order Lippert 3000 is I give them the rough opening size and they send the door.
Okay.
So that's fine. I can do that.
Okay.
Well, let's order.
How long does it take to get it?
I don't know. Amanda knows that. She's the expert, right?
You don't know until you try, so let's give it a shot.
And they never really said no. He just would say custom equals compromise.
I just need to remind you, custom equals compromise.
So you'd have to compromise some space here to
Well,
make
Wyatt
it
at times says, that ain't gonna work. No.
Now Wyatt's attitude is he is one of the nicest guys, but he has seen so much stuff that he just doesn't. It's like, I know what I know, and
That isn't gonna work.
Yeah, then it's not gonna work.
Or he'll just say no. No. I like to know the why behind the no, and he'll just say because it's not gonna work. Well, why not? Like, I want to know why it's not gonna work, so then maybe I can think of a solution.
That would be nice.
Yeah, but he just says no. Then that's okay. He is one of those individuals that just has all the knowledge because he's he's been here forever.
How long have you worked at Spacecraft?
Since 94. Part-time my mom bought it in 94, so I worked part-time then, full-time probably 97.
So why don't you tell everyone who you are?
I'm Wyatt Troutman, General Manager, Spacecraft Manufacturing.
You act like you're going to jail.
Well, there's been a few of those too.
But we had all kinds of things to figure out. The ramp doors, the patio doors, the roof hatch. That's a first for them as well.
Not only that, is this like even this, to the point where the speakers on what we're wanting to do, how they were going to integrate into the top, and then you have the railings that are going to come up and how they're going to pinch in. And the funny thing is like when you watch through this, you'll start realizing all of those things that Sheila was on the phone a lot, and then I jump in saying, okay, I don't know about that, and it is a process.
Yes, but then something that was very important to figure out was underneath. So in a pot, we have this big giant possum belly storage. Compared to our current RV, we're gonna have a lot of space. But what's gonna go under there? What's gonna fit? I mean, you start to lose so much space with the generator and black water and gray water and fresh water and batteries. All the components just start gobbling up all that space under there. And so we needed to just kind of map that out.
You start really, really excited, and then realizing how much and how big everything is.
Then why it's like, no. I need that one for this. I need that one for that. I need to.
We still have a lot of space, but it was kind of funny that morning seeing how it played.
And he just pushes the paper around like, there. That's what you can do.
Well, obviously the storage underneath on a semi is dictated by the length of the trailer and whether it's a typical trailer or if it's a stacker, garage, or something like that. And then a lot on what the customer wants. Tank sizes, auxiliary tanks, generator, fuel tanks, type of air conditioner, type of water heater, type of water softener, battery system, number of inverters. Sometimes it's a jigsaw puzzle to get it all to fit. And have some storage left over.
Well, that was our plan. We needed storage.
Storage is always a bonus.
I think out of 5 things we gave us 2.
We ain't done yet.
But it's a fun process, and they make it enjoyable because, I don't know, Wyatt's got this great, dry, sarcastic sense of humor, which I get, and so it's a great team to work with.
So we went from the 17th to the 30th, 31st, right in that time frame. We had word that they were now proceeded to have the frame painted, which was actually pretty exciting because that meant to us that the current RVs that they had in place, which they were having some issues with, some of the items weren't coming in like they were supposed to, which kind of concerned us because now it might be a backup scenario. But the frame's painted, some of our stuff's coming in, and so we're gonna bolt out and just enjoy that time frame on the way out, like processing everything that's happening. Still super excited, but yet it's just the frame and time is ticking away.
Yes, to hear that there's supply chain issues with the rigs in front of us is never a good feeling.
Because our time frame doesn't change.
We have a hard deadline.
Yeah, like
we're going to reveal this at the Tampa show to our community, and it's like starting a new chapter for us. We don't get to just, can we move the Tampa show?
There's no
Can we
changing.
just move the show? We just need a couple more weeks.
But yeah, so then the frame was painted and I wanted to come out and actually come out and see what it was. And I think sitting there in that moment caused me to kind of have some pretty good reflection time. And I don't know. It was an overwhelming thing. There was nobody in the shop. It was just like it is now. It was quiet. And you're just standing there looking at this massive thing now is painted, and then knowing and processing what was coming next. It kind of took me by surprise for a little bit. So that's why I stopped and reflected.
It's overwhelming to beyond the process.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a tool in our journey of what we're doing with our community and with the inside the RV community as a whole. It's a tool to help propel us into the next chapter. So we just won't want to lose those moments along the way of why we're really doing this. It's not, yes, we're adding in these cool elements and, got some fun things that we get to do. And those are all fun, but we don't want to ever lose the point of why we're on this journey. And so that's cool that you were able to have that moment.
So we have 70 days to Tampa, but honestly, we have less than that because they have to paint the RV. We're still sitting in the shop here, so it's 70 days to Tampa. They probably have, 45 days to completely build an RV from the ground up and get it to paint, because they'll need almost 2 weeks for paint. And then to get to Tampa, November 1st is tomorrow. Starts to cause you to question some things now, doesn't it? Was this an unrealistic timeline? Will we make it? There's so many things happening right now. Where I'm standing is supposed to be an LED wall right here on the front. All right. It's nuts.
So I was getting to be a little like, okay, we need to get this ball rolling.
7 a.m. on the road.
Gonna go check the progress of what's going on, work out a few kinks, But dang, most people with RVs head south for the winter.
It's a little chilly.
Maybe we should have built this over the summer.
This should be fun. We have no idea what we're walking into because we haven't got a progress update.
Well, we're now here though for the duration
Yes.
of the rest of the build, and I feel like we've just shifted into one more gear. A little fast.
It better be.
Well, even on our end, we got
Yeah.
like, it's like 70 days to go. Not that you needed to know that number, but in 70 days we're supposed to roll out of here, heading to Tampa.
And we still have to finish this wonderful documentary you're watching because we haven't started editing it. We still have to do all the stuff for the Tampa show. We still have to figure out what to do with Sheila's vehicle. And the truck is now down. Now they're starting to build the bed. And that either has to come to Iowa for painting, or it has to be wrapped down in. We don't know that decision yet.
70 days is starting to sound like not enough
I have no
time.
idea how this is going to happen. I don't know.
We might show up.
The rig might be white, not painted, and we won't have a place to live. That would be the worst case scenario, I think. It just wouldn't be painted.
You think? Or it might show up without a roof. Or
No,
in the inside walls.
We'll have all that stuff.
You think so?
Oh yeah, we'll have that stuff.
Let's go see. Let's check the teams.
I know it will. I know we will have that stuff.
You think?
Yeah. Just we won't have the painting done. That's the worst case. And won't be able to live in it. And then we'll have to rent an Airbnb, and then we'll have to figure out how to change all of our travel plans. That's the worst. Or the economy could crash and doesn't get finished at all.
Well, aren't we chipper this morning?
I know. I'm a little worried.
Okay, so it's funny how we spent so much time planning through these little other details, but on the other side, you're also planning other details that you don't really think about. And that's when the stuff started showing up.
Well, there's just so many different pieces. Like we were just talking about, okay, well, what size of fresh water tank do we need? Oh, and what color do you want your couch to be? I mean, there's two definite.
There is two definite situations going on.
Yes. And as that stuff comes in, then there's just has to possibly be like, this doesn't look exactly how I thought it was going to. Is it still going to work? Am I going to need to change it out? And then you got those giant poles in, which I still think are way too big.
The poles, I have this vision of having the upstairs deck, and then you put these poles in and put a sunshade up there. So when you're sitting up there, you're not burning in the sun. The problem is that the poles are not fitting like I'm hoping, and I'm going to have to make adjustments.
They're like this big around.
No, they're not that big. They're 3 inches. And if you're going to have high winds, you're going to want something up there that's not going to just...
If you're going to have high winds, I'm thinking we have to take them down.
You don't get that option when we're boondocking. Like when we were boondocking on the edge down at that one place.
South Dakota?
Yeah. And the winds popped up. Well, think
true.
about, there's no time. So
Just
you have
become
to...
a giant sail at that point.
Yeah. It will be. I don't even know if this is going to work. This is the fun part, but I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. So that's what we were doing. We were going through all of the items that had come in and then found a few hiccups in the masses of stuff.
I think it's all going to work out.
That's what we tell ourselves.
It's fine.
It's
We've been saying that
It's
since
fine.
day one.
Everything is fine.
Yes.
From running out of propane from night one to now. It'll be fine.
The thing is okay, that doesn't need it. That's not the right size.
What are you talking about?
I think that's too big. Like what Josh was making on the side was like this big in diameter, not that big.
Well, how are you supposed to hold the weight of the wind?
He was on, like, I think what Josh made was like
It's just 3 inches.
I think that's not what Josh made. He wasn't thinking we needed that big. I think I think you ordered them way too big.
Sheila,
What?
they're definitely well made.
I don't think that's gonna fit. How's that gonna fit on the side of the railing?
It doesn't. It fits in a pocket. So he's making a pocket. And
The pocket
goes-
is on the railing or on the base around that. That's where he was putting
so
that.
we're cutting this, and then basically this will fit into the pocket. That's not the problem.
The pocket that Josh is making is not that big.
Sheila, it is.
Okay.
That's not the problem.
What is the problem? I think the problem is you ordered the wrong thing. Does it look gray? I can't tell. I'll hold this up here.
I think it looks gray.
You think it looks gray?
Yeah, with some blue in it.
Shut up, don't say that word. Does it look blue?
I don't know. Ask him. What color does that look like to you?
Oh, cross between like a navy blue and a deep gray.
That's the wrong answer.
Did you get pictures of your windows?
Those were not the windows. You guys lied to me to get me out of the room.
Aww.
I don't even know if this is going to work. This is the fun part, but I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. So that's what we were doing. We were going through all of the items that had come in and then found a few hiccups in the masses of stuff.
I think it's all going to work out.
That's what we tell ourselves.
But I believe when we came out that time, I also had an opportunity to look at cabinet drawings because they're getting ready. Colby is going to get the team started on making all the cabinetry.
Well, it was
and
all the
need to go-
details.
Yep.
Because in a lot of your cabinets, what people don't realize is that you've made specific spaces for like your spice racks.
Right.
And how do you want this pull out for like a cutting board? And then you've come up with these really cool creative ideas like the TV plane pulled out. And
That's ridiculous how many pages there are there.
That's true, Steve.
Well, there's 2 for each cabinet, at least. 5 for one.
5 pages for one cabinet?
The beauty about being custom is a lot of things that we've seen as we look at other RVs is, oh, I'm like, oh, I like that piece. Oh, I like that idea. And you can take all of those different ideas that you like and just compress them into one. And so Colby's like, I got a lot of specialty drawers to be made because I'm like, oh yeah, I want this one that lifts up and there's the extra storage for those utensils. And
now we didn't create anything new under the sun. It is literally what is hatched is like every time we went to an RV show or every time we did like a video of doing an RV review.
Put it in the file. I like that idea.
And then she would be like, oh, and honestly, cabinets are kind of one of the most important things because it is your organizational structure for small living. And if you've lived on the road and you're looking at getting an RV, you are processing the cabinet scenario and where you're going to put everything.
These are, I know you know how these go, but let's see, Josh did not know this. So how do these go on the drawer?
I don't want to talk about how.
What's so funny, dude?
What, you
He was like, these are gonna stick out way too far. I'm like, they're my smallest one.
You thought it just... yeah, man.
I didn't think about that.
I mean, we could have done it, but...
Josh, don't be so dramatic. You're never gonna get a girlfriend like that. Josh, we just have to give you a hard time. So that's what that goes in there.
I have to recess all of this.
And sometimes when you're going through this, one of you will care more than the other about some of the details. So it was it's daunting because that also drove a lot of the things for us to add a foot because you were like, okay, well, if we're gonna put this in, we need this. And the dishwasher, we can't live without a dishwasher.
I'm sure we can live without one because we've done it for 3 years.
Yeah, but not going through this. We wanted to have the fun stuff.
Well, and to find out that a dishwasher actually uses, when you're boondocking, actually uses less water than when you wash them in the sink. Like, oh, well, we're just being economical.
Yeah, and if you're talking about water and you're going through this process, you're probably sitting there asking, well, what did they do with the water? Well, we put one big, massive, what is it?
Gray water tank?
Not gray water.
Black water?
No.
A galley?
No.
Freshwater.
Freshwater, that's what we're looking for. We
I'd
put a
get-
massive freshwater tank in the center, and then when we've been boondocking, we've learned through the course of time that our current rig, the gray water from the bathroom and the shower go into the same tank as doing the dishes. So
Yes.
we would eat through that. And then we have a separate tank for the washer and dryer and stuff. So
You don't wash and dry as much as when you're boondocking. Here we were able to set up the tank system
Totally
to how we utilize our RV,
So
which
that-
was nice.
You'll get to see a little more of that in the future episodes, because that is kind of what comes into play. If you're designing your custom RV, not only what Sheila's designed on the cabinets, which I'm super excited for everyone to see when they're finally done, but to even go down to, well, how is the water usage gonna be? So all of that comes into play, and also comes into some of the discussions we had that morning when we were hanging out with everyone.
I had put up on the whiteboard a giant list of all the questions we weren't sure we had answers to. We needed to walk through them and kind of figure out some details.
And after hours for a special deal at the trailer?
Yes, sir. We can do that. Of course, it'll all have to go through you as the contractual exhibitor. And yes, sir, you can go through, there's a catering company on site that can help you with it without a problem. We can get you that information. So the answer is yes. Depending on, do we have an idea of numbers? And would the people already be at the show, or would they be driving in?
More than likely, they will already be at the show. They'll probably be out in the camping area if they get in tomorrow. And then there'll be a few people that'll just be coming from across the street at hotels and stuff.
How many do we have an idea of numbers?
150.
150 people? You're gonna have to do a bill. There's no way you can do that right there on site. I mean, you've only got, what, 15 by 100 off the top of my head?
Well, we're kind of thinking like, would it be possible just to do in front of the, like on the street, kind of like when we come to the Grand Design VIP night, like we're just kind of in that little section, or is it ever possible to rent that little tent that's right across from
The restaurant?
The restaurant.
Oh, I'm sure you could rent that, yes.
So many cool things just like this needed to fall into place in order to make all of this happen. It was truly a team effort.
Speaking of cool things, I believe this was the day we also got a phone call about our solar, our lithium batteries, and possibly about how we were going to be able to integrate something fun and new.
That was pretty exciting. All right, so there's so many things that are happening. We just found out something that might be really cool, and that is Garmin, believe it or not, is integrating some special system that you can actually, they're gonna handle all the
multiplex system.
Right.
So it's a Garmin multiplex. And so we were discussing like solar and battery consumption needs, and 𝐬𝐨𝐻 from RV Solar Solutions suggested, well, have you guys considered working with Garmin? And Greg said, well, Garmin's actually coming here to a meeting on Thursday. And so we're like, well, that
amazing
that would
timing.
be cool.
So if it would actually work out, we
Yeah.
could actually have this amazing, I don't know, system that would integrate from the LED wall to sound to
Possibly,
all of our
yes.
solar stuff. Everything would integrate together.
We don't know all of that it can do, but Greg said it is very technology advanced and it looked super cool. So we're excited to see that
That actually might happen.
We couldn't have planned that. We didn't even know about it. But as 𝐬𝐻 said something, Greg said,
Well, the
hey,
funny
we have a
part is
meeting.
timing's a big thing, and that's a God thing.
We're like 2 days away from Garmin being here, and we're like, oh, that would be super cool.
We'll see how it plays out. I had no clue that Garmin was in the RV space, and they were doing the integration for all of the stuff that can run everything in the RV.
It's a Garmin, it's their multiplex system, and I believe, like, we haven't got our fingers on it yet. I'm excited to try and to kind of figure that out, but it's got some cool, might be some cool stuff moments.
Hopefully it comes in. That's the question.
In time.
Supply chains.
Yeah, but Garmin's here in town.
I know, maybe we just beat on the
Knock
door.
on the
Hey,
door.
hey, I know you're in there.
Can I have one of those?
So really hope that we would be able to show that to you, and we're really loving this process and loving being able to show through, we're sitting here in it. We're We're not
It's not
sitting there. It's
done.
not done. We're actually in it, going through everything as we speak. And it has been such the journey. So
I think that that's important for us because we want to capture the raw emotion as it's happening and share that with you, because that's just who we are. We just want to be who we are and take you on the journey with us. And who knows what's going to happen next.
Everything's done for the day?
Only thing we need is the powder coat color, but we can get that. But other than that, I think we have, these things are done.
Sheila.
Yeah, we gotta take that to an 85. It is over.
85 days left. Remember when we had a countdown when we started our RV journey?
Yeah.
85 days left to Tampa.
Maybe that's what I need to put on our new little board in our rig.
85 days. What will happen between now and then?